I believe detoxification to be one of the most misunderstood and probably overlooked factors that we need to consider for improving our health in today's society. There's a lot of reasons for that. Obviously, the environmental toxins, the chemicals we're exposed to every day, we sort of treat as normal and daily, aspects of our life, but really they're constantly challenging our body with toxins that we're exposed to. And as we age, some of those toxins accumulate. We have a little bit more trouble dealing with them. And some of them can have long-term residual effects that we may not even relate to that particular toxin. Unfortunately, how it would typically work is that the natural antioxidants in our food and the vitamins and minerals we would get from our food would help our body fight those toxins and help us detoxify and remove them from our system. But what's happening now is, one, we're exposed to a lot more toxins. Anything that challenges our immune system works at disabling us from dealing with toxins. And the foods that are supposed to help us, even some of the really healthy foods, can still have a certain amount of toxins associated with them. So while those foods are supposed to help us deal with them, they're also adding to it. So truthfully, we need as much help as we can dealing with toxins in our system. And that's why we're hearing so much more about detoxification. Unfortunately, that word can mean a multitude of different things and activities, so it often gets confused with when people are talking about I need to detox. So we're going to talk quickly about it because there's a few simple, I like to look at starting with sort of the more gentle, subtle daily approaches to detoxification. And then I think with time, you can see where you maybe need to expand, build on, maybe even do a little more intensely. One of the major things that I promote, because I looked into it for a very long time and really have not found another product quite as effective as this one, is an antioxidant. And so what happens when our body tries to even take energy from food, it naturally has free radicals, because every chemical process has to have a product and byproduct as a result. And so those free radicals that really don't serve our body and causes our body to use energy to deal with them is produced from your body trying to deal with toxins or even take good energy from food. So a product that I have that is so effective, because many times antioxidants that we're encouraged to take end up being synthetic versions. And I really think that works against what we're trying to achieve, because you want something that is as natural a product. Antioxidants are meant to be natural products. And then that way your body is not having to deal with the fact that it's a synthetic product and generally doesn't take as much value from a synthetic product as it would a natural product. So if you're looking for an antioxidant, and really a sign that you probably need an antioxidant is if you feel you sort of have inflammation, weight that looks almost maybe a little bit like water retention or flabby skin or sort of puffy skin. It can be a sign that you would find value from an antioxidant. And so I highly encourage the one, and I do sell it. I'm not pretending I don't. It's Fountain of Life. And the reason I'm telling you about it is because it's not a product you can get anywhere. It was just recently patented to be available in Canada, but it's actually spruce oil from a Norwegian spruce tree. So there's nothing that's not 100% natural in this product, and it's amazing that that's really all you're taking. And the reason they developed this as an antioxidant that became available around the world is because the Norwegian spruce was found to have the most powerful lignans in the world, and lignans are an antioxidant. And a 30-year study of lignans determined that your chance of cancer and your chance of heart rate were also decreased by 30% each by having a heavy lignan diet. And so lignans in this product are your powerful antioxidant and can help with a lot of byproducts, side effects, free radicals. For example, people will find that there's an improvement in a lot of chronic illnesses, even diabetes, heart issues. But mostly it's the simple everyday things they'll start to find, like improvement sleeping, decrease in inflammation, even decrease in anxiety. And, one of the things people associate free radicals with is when you are exposed to UV exposure and you, as in a return, get a sunburn. That's representative of free radicals that were produced in your system by dealing with this, what your body perceives as a toxin. But even this oil as itself has been shown to take a sunburn down to a tan in a day. So it's a pretty cool product. That's the most obvious result you'll see with it. You can take it in a little bit of juice. You take it internally under your tongue daily. I also use it on my skin. You can even use it on dry patches, bruises, cuts, even dry ends. It's a pretty overall total practical application. And if you look at it on the website, it'll show you all the vitamins and minerals that it represents and replaces. Pretty cool. But I want to get a little more into detoxification and talk a little bit about why we need it. A couple of things that I think the majority of the population is exposed to is challenges with digestion. And the whole purpose of digestion is to actually get rid of detoxification from the products that you've eaten, and usually it's the waste. Your body, the plan is that your body's to try and take as much value from all the food that you have, and then it produces waste that it processes through your body and is detoxified. However, there's a lot of food that we eat that isn't just 100% natural or raw that our body processes normally. We know that there's a lot of processed materials in our food, and sometimes our body can have a really tough time figuring out how to deal with those, to the point that they can actually just stay sort of stuck in our system. Also, too, when we overeat, sometimes our body can only take so much value or deal or process with so much of the food, so that excess sometimes isn't dealt with properly. People find that if they feel stuffed, bloated, kind of crampy, some of those can be signs that we're not processing the foods through our system as well, and detoxification can really help with that. If you find that you deal with heartburn or a sense of overeating when you didn't eat that much, then I really encourage you to look at things that will help your digestive system clean out. And one of the ones that I see a lot of value with and can be almost a little bit too intense of a detox is holy tea. So WHOLLY. You can often get it at a lot of natural food stores. Can be a very powerful process. Obviously, your probiotics are going to help with this. And a subtle one to start with to move towards something like a detox tea would be lemon water, apple cider vinegars, detox hot drinks. There's a multitude of recipes out there that have them with products like cinnamon and turmeric, apple cider vinegar, lemon, honey, and can be very powerful at sort of cleansing out your digestive system. There are also obviously other ones that you can find at natural health food stores. So I'm not suggesting you go look at teas that say detox. You're actually looking at detox systems that may be a tea. And then another one that I think is a huge crisis, and actually we really barely talk about it at all when it comes to detox, and is probably one of the most crucial ones to a lot of illnesses we deal with, especially stuff like fatigue and brain fog, is candida detox. And really what that is sort of a buildup of yeast in our system, often because of the excess of sugar we have in all our foods. And our body is meant to have a little bit of candida in it. But what's happening is we're so heavy on the grains with yeast in them and sugars that they really overpopulate the candida in our body, and it's just not able to deal with it. So I often recommend at this point for people, especially if they're kind of looking at pains and fatigues and stuff like that I said, and especially sugar cravings. So you don't have to have an obvious yeast infection to know that you have candida overgrowth. But if you're having some of these symptoms, that usually a decrease in candida in your body may be of value. So looking at candida cleanses can be really valuable. There's a lot of very gentle ones. I recommend going to a nutritionist or your health food store and just asking for a gentle candida one. And if anything, what I found, it took a long time for my system to sort of get it under control, but you will really notice a decrease in your sugar cravings when you sort of do it a long enough period. And like I said, I suggest really going subtle and maybe building up as you see little benefits to it, and then the benefits will obviously be a lot more obvious. But detoxing can be really tough on your body. So sometimes, well, actually a lot of times, detoxing can almost make you feel a lot more sick while your body is trying to deal with that, whatever product it's trying to detox, than it seemed like it was before. So that can be a good sign that detoxing is working for you, but you want to do it gently, and you don't, you don't have to get immensely sick for it to be working. You can still do it slowly and gently over time, but just know that if you're finding significant side effects, that it just could be because the detoxing is working, and maybe excessively so. So yes, you really have your candida considerations, you have your digestive considerations. Both of these can have a lot of effects on your skin. So if you're finding you're having weird skin breakouts or rashes, I suggest trying both of these, because they both can be causing skin problems, especially in a mature adult. And then I just really recommend, water obviously is your main one. So you want to be drinking consistent water before, during, and after detoxes. And then what the detoxes do is they kind of take it to a different level. But just remember that toxins can sit anywhere. So they can sit in your joints, they can sit in your tissues. So you want to look at other methods of detoxing than just ingesting things in your system. So Epsom salt baths are really good. I would go for a natural Epsom salt, because a lot of the ones that you can buy in a drugstore can have other chemicals in them. And then if you've ever heard of dry brushing or massages, and even just looking at self-massage. So you can use rollers when you're stretching. All of these will help sort of purify the toxins that are in your tissues. And then while you're doing internal detox, then you can be doing these other things that help flush the detox or toxins out of your tissues and joints and other areas. So obviously exercise is a big one. So you're going to help flush toxins out of your cardiovascular system. Sweating is going to get it out of your skin, because you're using your muscles and really utilizing those joints. It helps if you're doing detoxification to add in gentle, subtle exercise that'll help push those out in those sticky areas. Another one can be foot detox baths. So it's just simply getting a bowl, hot water, and mixing a few detox products like apple cider vinegar, lemon. There's a whole host of things, Epsom salts. Your foot, the lower part of your body, can be a great area for pulling toxins out while you're doing all these other things. And then you just have to be careful that when you're doing detoxification, that you're really gentle with yourself in all aspects. So you may actually require more sleep. And it's really valuable to take the time while you're detoxifying to make sure that you do all these other things to aid your system while it's trying to detoxify itself. So you'll be taking detoxification products, but your body also has an ability to detoxify a certain amount itself. So do as much as you can to help it activate itself and push as much out. So, relaxing, not using dehydrating products like coffee and alcohol, And just taking time, maybe watching a little bit less TV, doing more relaxation projects, just keep your breathing up. And most of all, I challenge you to detoxify your thoughts. So tapping, as you know, is one big exercise that I promote to help change your thoughts. But if anything, I challenge people to, when you're detoxifying, think of that one thought, that sort of self-talk that you always have that kind of knocks yourself down a little bit. I use an example of, I often used to tell myself, you just talk way too much. Surprise, right? But the truth is, I think it can be perceived as a horrible characteristic or personality trait. And a lot of times I'd knock myself down for just simply talking too much in social circles. But I took the time one time and I thought, the truth is, I'm just really excited to share with people some of the knowledge I have. I mean, I love interacting with people, but I most of the time just want to share information. I do want to learn, but I also want to get them excited about what I've learned or experienced in life. And so I do like to talk. And truthfully, I wouldn't be here if I didn't like to. So I had to decide that this personality trait that I always was trying to change or knock myself down about was probably serving me more than it was taking away from value in my life. And so I decided to accept it. Sometimes it's a little excessive or inappropriate, but most times I hope it's serving me and others more than any negative attributes. So I encourage you, while you're detoxifying, is to take one of these thoughts, one of these self-talk things you have, challenge it a little bit, see what's positive in it, and test yourself. Would you really change it for all the positive attributes you might get from it? And I think it's like detoxifying that self-talk. It's getting rid of that negative focus. And if anything, can boost your energy more than any of these other physical detoxes you do. So whether you're dealing with an illness, just trying to improve your energy or your health, or just trying to improve subtle symptoms you have, don't underestimate the value of detoxification. Start slowly. Do it gently and keep building. Just keep trying something new that will help kind of knock out that thing that's tearing your body down. There's huge health value in detoxification. Do it smartly. Follow the instructions if you're using a program, and seek advice from people who know best. But I will never stop looking at ways to detoxifying my system. It's been one of the most valuable health routines that I have added, and I always do it in a very careful way, but it's so worth looking into. So good luck with this. There's lots of links to help you with some home natural solutions for detoxification, but remember, the most valuable one you can do is to be gentle and caring to yourself while you do it.